Back again, back again. Hello, everyone. I am back again, and I have a quick one for you. I was watching Conservative Twins, and I watched one of their videos, but I didn't have much to say on it. A lot of laughs. They're funny, as you know. So I was watching another of their videos called Our Response to Dilbert creator Scott Adams' White People Stay Away from Black People. Very, very interesting watch. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Very interesting. I would like to give my own opinion of like the twins' response, Dilbert creator Scott Adams video, as well as some other information that I want to respond to. So I watched a video that they had at the beginning of their video, and I just want to say that for the most part, I don't have a black and white response to it. I don't have a clear yes and a clear no. I agree with some things and I disagree with others. So here's the nitty gritty. He said that, white people should stay away from black people. They should go as far as they can because um, this thing cannot be changed. It cannot be helped. It cannot be fixed. Basically, what he was saying, not verbatim, just giving you a basic summary. Um, he stated that he was citing a poll, and I looked for it as much as I could, but I could not find it over across the internet. I could not find it, but it was a poll from, I believe, from Don Lemon. Yeah, Don Lemon. If you don't know who Don Lemon is, um, Google him. Don Lemon is a gay black uh, news anchor journalist. I'm, I'm I'm not incorrect about that. News anchor journalist. Let me look it up. So you don't have to. But no, go ahead and do it on your own time. Don Lemon. What is he? Gay black. Okay, so Wikipedia says he is an American television journalist. Yeah. Most well known for being a host on CNN. Anchored weekend news programs, blah blah blah. Okay, let's get back to what I was talking about here. So basically, Scott Adams gets on and he's like, well, as I just said, white people should stay away from black people. This can't be fixed. Um, just run as far as you can, escape. That's all you can do. Based on the poll, he's like, black people, they're a hate group. They don't like white people. They don't want to be around you. Summary, of course, this is not verbatim. So what I have to say based off what he's saying is, as unbiasedly as I can, is I agree with that sentiment loosely. Like, if you are a white person in this day, in this time, in this age, and you live in a state where there's a huge black ghettoish population and you already see the writing on the wall, what, by all means, escape, go somewhere, go to where there are greener pastures. It's up to you. Um, but I don't think you should be like, if you live around people and there's a couple black people here and there, or there's black people and they're just living their life doing whatever, you shouldn't be motivated to be so like, oh my God, they're going to kill me. If they weren't killing you yesterday, they're probably not going to kill you today. Most of the, like, I would say the more neutral or more calmer states would be like the blue states. The red, like, if there are any, and I'm just going off opinion right here and based off general, just off the top of my head. Like, I live in a blue state, so the black population isn't that crazy. It's more calm, as you probably would have guessed. Like, more red states have more white demographics. I believe blacks are more centralized in the blue states. But if you have a situation where there's a bunch of rowdy black people and they're causing, of course you probably would have already left by now without Scott Adams' help. But yeah, I agree with that part, especially with what's going on in today's times. You've got the outright racist narratives covering up anything to do with black perpetrators assaulting and killing white people. I just did a video where there was a lady that was shot. She was shot in the back of her head by a female black perpetrator, and it was not put up to the front of the public consciousness. There were no mainstream media news articles about it. They barely covered it. I think only Yahoo and MSN covered it. So, yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So I would understand why you would want to move away from black people. Another thing, there's a lot of corporations who are rah-rah BLM, and they're definitely behind the liberal and the CRT movements. So, and they're pushing this on their employees, this really racist rhetoric of you have to be diverse and inclusive, and white people are bad, and they are pushing it hard. They're not hiring white people. They're not like Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is like doing something only for minorities, lending to minorities. They're not going to lend to anyone else, the majority. So, yes, again, I can understand why you would move away, but then you have to think about these aspects too. No matter where you go, you're going to have to deal with those companies, and they're doing really racist stuff. There was another point that oh, and also there's white people who subscribe strongly to the far left. That even if you move away from all the black people, any minorities, there's still going to be those people who subscribe to that rhetoric, that narrative, and they are far left. They are pro BLM, pro liberal, pro all the other crazy stuff narrative, and they are kind of, you got to be kind of wary of them. Not all, of course, not all. Just there are a few of them out there. So you have to be aware of them. So there's a lot of moving parts to this whole thing. What I'm saying is don't let this scare you. If there's cause to move, of course, logically move if it's unsafe for you. It doesn't matter what the person looks like, but if they're black and they're you feel threatened, of course, move. Why not? Another thing. So that's my take on the whole Scott Adams thing. Also, another thing I wanted to say about what he said. So he sourced Don Lemon. Like, Don Lemon is like a radical leftist journalist, and he's a gay black man. And he sourced the fact that Don Lemon stayed in a place that was no black people, all white people. Why are you sourcing this from? I would have had more respect for that if you source something from an actual white person who lived among white people who moved away from black people. Like, it doesn't even logically make sense that you would source something from that you're saying, well, white people should do, but you're taking your orders kind of from a gay black man on a far left gay black man journalist. Like, I hate to keep saying it, but it's true. That is what he is. So there you have that. And like, I would say go find a different source. And I want to comment on what the twins saying. So the twins were like, he should definitely do like a apology, and he should, like, he said a lot of racist stuff about black people. How does that make them feel and all that? And I would try to kind of, I don't really agree with them on that part. I don't think he needs to say an apology. I mean, of course, this is going to make a lot of people who are, the actual white supremacist groups have already, I think, gotten a hold of it, and they're doing what they do, whatever. I mean, it's really not much to say. I don't think he should do an apology, because he wasn't really saying anything that, he wasn't giving an action that was violent. He was saying, white people should stay away from black people, just move away, run away. That's not stating anything that's going to be like, hey, white people, you should attack black people because they don't like you. His what he was stating weren't actions that were violent. They're passive. you should run away, you should move away. And I agree with that, especially in this day and time, to protect yourself if need be. And you see a logical reason for doing that. So in that regard, I don't really agree with the twins, but I do appreciate their video and bringing this topic to my attention. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, so you guys, I just did a review of the Hodge twins' video that was entitled, what was it entitled? Well, anyway, it was about Scott Adams's, I guess the original video is from his episode 2027, Scott Adams. AI goes woke, I accidentally joined a hate group, Trump and policing schools. So I am going to be, I reacted to their video because they did just a basic excerpt from what he had said, but I reacted to that and just said a little bit about what I thought about it, but I really went into the fact that I did not have any information. I wanted more information about the poll. I wanted more information about, I guess I wanted to get the full picture about what Scott Adams was talking about. So I'm going to do a little review reaction type thing, you know, the way I do it, about the portion of his video where it's the part where he says I accidentally joined a hate group, the part where he talks about what the poll and everything that goes into that. You know what I'm talking about. But, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this and just pause it at different parts where I want to say a little something. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I don't even want to think about it because it's so awful. Well,
that was just from the previous thing. Okay, this is where it starts, around 1323.
Rasmussen poll had a provocative little poll today. They said, do you agree or disagree with the statement, it's okay to be white?
So this is a poll that I was looking for, the Rasmussen poll. And it was a poll, I followed a link. And I wasn't even sure, I don't think the link was from his video. It might have been from another video that kind of, because there are a lot of videos coming out. This kind of went viral. So I took this link, I think, from another video, The Young Turks. Yeah, that was probably it. And it took me to a tweet for Rasmussen Reports. And I'm just a little bit kind of trying to find my way around it, because it starts off by saying the Anti-Defamation League has labeled it's okay to be white as hate speech. And then I went to the link from there, and then it's kind of like the thing where, like, a tree that has one limb and then it branches off into other limbs and branches off. There's a lot of branches here, so I'm trying to keep up. So it took me to a website where it says the phrase "it's okay to be white" is a slogan popularized in late 2017 as a trolling campaign by members of the controversial discussion forum 4chan. 4chan and Reddit seem to be the birthplace of a lot of different things. So the original idea behind the campaign was to choose an ostensibly innocuous and inoffensive slogan, put that slogan on flyers bereft of any other words or imagery, then place the flyers in public locations. Originators assumed that liberals would react negatively to such flyers and condemn them or take them down, thus proving that liberals did not even think it was okay to be white. And then you can read this yourself. I'll add the link in the description below. But anyway, it goes into that. So it's a phrase. Basically, the phrase says it's okay to be white. Yes, it's okay to be white. It shouldn't be a question. It shouldn't be something that you have to think about. It just is. And then I'm going back over to the tweet. And this is the Rasmussen poll. It's like they state that, but a majority of all Americans, 72% agree with the statement, including 53% of Black adults and 69% of Democrats. Only 26% of Black adults disagree. It's okay to be white. 72% of Americans agree, 12% disagree, 69% of Democrats agree, 12% disagree. Black people can be racist too. 79% of Americans agree, 12% disagree, 71% of Democrats agree, 19% disagree. So I'm not sure if, it looks to be the poll that he's sourcing, but if it is, why does it state that, let me see, 53% of Black adults, majority of Americans, 72, including 53% of Black adults. Okay, so they agree with it. I'm trying to find the piece that he's talking about that states that the majority of Black people did not agree with it. So maybe I'm just missing it entirely, but if you can clue me in on what I am missing from this, please let me know in the comments below. I check the comments. I do check the comments. Anyway, getting back to Scott Adams' video. Just going to play it.
That was an actual question. Rasmussen asked, white and Black voters, and probably others, do you disagree or agree with the statement, it's okay to be white? 26% of Blacks said no. It's not.
Okay. Let me go back. 26%. 26. That's right. 26% of Black adults agree. Okay, so this is the poll. 26% disagree. Let me go back. I'm just checking my sources, you guys. Accuracy is key.
Not okay to be white. 21% weren't sure. Add them together, that is 47% of Black respondents were not willing to say it's okay to be white.
So close to 50%.
That's like a real poll. This just happened. And did you have any idea? Would you have imagined that could have happened? So I realized, as you know, I've been identifying as Black for a while.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of nuts. But I can see why you would. I'm not sure if this is just some sarcasm he does, or if that is actually something that he has been identifying as Does anybody know? Is he being sarcastic? I don't know. Let's move on.
Years now, because I like to be on the winning team.
I'm not sure. Oh, okay, so he may be completely what is it called? The opposite of sarcastic. He might be completely the opposite of sarcastic when he's saying this. And he said he wants to be on the winning side. Does he mean, I don't know, does he mean conservative? Does he mean liberal? I'm confused. Does anybody know what he means by the winning side? Is it whoever's winning in the current mainstream narrative, maybe? I don't know. That's kind of weird. I mean, to protect yourself. But even if, I don't know. It just seems like sarcasm, but then again, I don't want to say that it is. I don't know. Let's move on.
And I like to help. And I always thought, well, if you help the Black community, that's sort of the biggest lever. You can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit. So I'd like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping Black Americans. So much.
See, that's the problem. You shouldn't help. What is it called? Something action. Affirmative action is not good. It's not good. And if you're putting money into it, it's definitely not the way you should go about things. If you want to help somebody, you don't just want to help them because they're Black. Like that's not smart. I mean, if you want to go and you want to help, but don't help so much that you put your own self out. It's, what am I trying to say here? It's just no benefit to helping to that degree. It seems like it's just to either to help to make yourself either look better or feel better, or because you think you're doing something good, or none of those reasons are any good. I don't think that's for the best. But if that's what he wants to do, then then he looks like he attempted to help Black people, and it is not working out for him. So let's press on.
So that I started identifying as Black to just be on the team.
And he brings that up again. That's not good. I'm trying to think of this from his perspective. Like, say, you were trying to help out impoverished, let's say in a parallel university, I'm trying to help out impoverished white people, and I identify as a white person. I mean, I can only think of identifying as a white person sarcastically. I'm really trying to see this from his perspective, and I keep getting sarcasm, like strong sarcasm. I don't know. Is he a comedian? I mean, he Dilbert sprung from his what do you call it? We got Dilbert because of him. But I mean, it just seems like he made a mistake, and affirmative action is not good, sir. It's not good. You should never just help just because you want. You should help because you see an actual need, and the people actually need it. You should not help just because of a narrative running through the country when there's obviously really messed up things happening, and the people don't really need a handout. They need to just get up on their own feet and, take responsibility for their actions. They should not get any bailouts from you. My people should stop being weak and playing the victim card. Please do not help them continue to play the victim card. Okay, pressing on.
I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white.
I am not the half that doesn't think it's okay for you to be white. You'll never know who I am, but I'm not part of that half, just so you know.
Which is, of course, why I identified as Black, so I could be on the winning team.
So I'm losing my sarcastic feelings and vibes about this. I think he's completely serious about identifying as Black. I feel sorry for this man. That's not good. You shouldn't have to live in a world where you're told a group of people, minorities, are oppressed, and you're actually the group that's being oppressed, and you feel so oppressed by this victim group that's being told that they're oppressed that you identify as that group. That's really effing sad. That's messed up. I don't want this to continue, and that's why I'm part of the reason why I make my videos. Okay. Continuing.
For a while. But I have to say, This is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever...
Really? I mean, I finally got access to the poll. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to find any information. I should have just come directly to the source material like I finally did and reacted to like I am currently doing. So I did look over the poll, which I said was on Twitter, and got some more information. And I'm still going to probably do some research after this to figure out exactly who the demographic is, who it is, like where they got the information from, which state, blah, 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 like I said beforehand. Okay, carrying on.
Happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it and you go, whatever. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to...
Good for you, sir. Good for you. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So
well, I wouldn't. I don't exactly agree with that. From yes, it would definitely seem as if that is the case. Together with BLM, the polls and the media and everything spinning its wheels to make it look like Black people are so victimized, but also have the highest level of privilege next to the LGBT. It would definitely seem as if we are a hate group, and there are a lot of young and old Black people that are very hateful and have no problem speaking their mind on several social media platforms, which I have went into detail talking about and ranting about. But I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't be so generalizing as to say Black people as an entirety are a hate group. But I understand like where you're coming from on that. I would be inclined to agree with you, but then I would have to rope myself into what you said, and I am not a part of that thought process at all. I am not a part of it. The only part I am of that is that I look like the people that said it was not okay on that poll. In any case, let's move forward.
If nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to...
But there are 53% on that poll that said they are. That they agree with that white people are, it's okay to be white. So, I mean, this is such a tough subject matter right here. Very tough. Moving on.
This poll, not according to me, according to this poll.
And how accurate is this poll? I feel like I need to dive deeper into it. But I don't know if there's any point in doing that either. I mean, I want to know who funded it at least, to see if it's even worth going for a deep dive. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I wouldn't want to just base what I'm doing in my life off any one thing. But, he seems to have reached his end with this. And I don't blame him, because I'm not white and I'm not going through what a lot of you who are white in this world going through this are going through. I'm not. So sometimes you're going to reach a point where you're just like, you're done. And he has the right to do that. He has the right to say that and express that. There's no reason why he shouldn't. Moving on.
Oh, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people.
Oh, this is the part that I reviewed earlier. And I'm going to link this in the beginning of this reaction video so you can see my response to this. I'm not going to really repeat much of what I said because I think I'm going to agree with what I said. Excuse me.
Is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way.
This was the only part that I didn't agree with. And even with what he said, you're probably, like, some of you are probably freaking out, like, oh my God, why is he saying this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm looking at his, it's my cat. What do you want, boy? Lay down. Okay. So he's got like a chat roulette thing going on, and he's like, got people there. They're like some black subscribers that are like, oh, so you want me to unsubscribe or something like that? What do you say to your black viewers or something like that? I think that he's got some strong words, some strong language, but it logically makes sense. And you also have to put yourself in the other person's shoes, see things from their point of view. He might be generalizing a lot of what he says. I'm not agreeing with every single thing that he does say, but for the most part, it makes some amount of sense. I'm not agreeing with like, oh my God, be fearful, like I stated before, but like, as I said before, if you feel unsafe around a certain demographic of people and you don't want to be around them, live around them, then move. No problem with that. Okay, moving on.
So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. Don Lemon. Don Lemon? You would quote Don Lemon? Out of everyone you could have sourced and quoted, why quote Don Lemon? Just watch my part one. Like, I go into detail on that. Oh my God. He's the last person you want to source for anything that you just took the entire credibility out of what you're saying and you had some really good points, but you took the entire credibility out of what you're saying when you brought up Don Lemon. Just my opinion.
When he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference.
Now, I'm not saying that there are problems. There's a lot of crime and a lot of black on black crime and a lot of littering and a lot of crap going on. I'm not saying there isn't. As I said before, if you feel unsafe, a certain demographic happens to be black, then move. That's up to you. So I agree on that point. Yes, within the black community in certain demographics where there's very high crime, very poor population, government funded, government housing, ghettos and whatnot. Yes, that's going to be an issue. You move to a suburban majority of white people there with I'm trying to bring numbers, like median household income is around 100,000 or upwards of 100,000 per year. You're not going to get the same problems. Of course, yes, logically, that goes without saying. So I do agree on that point. But that's just that. It doesn't take a genius, and it certainly doesn't take Don Lemon to source that. I think that's just not even up for debate. It's not even an opinion. It's just a natural fact. So yes, if you live in the hood, get out of the hood if you don't want to deal with hood problems. That's what I'm saying. Okay, pressing on.
And your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense.
I agree with that. As I said before, affirmative action's not good. Don't help black people anymore. Black people need to help themselves. Black people need to do good for themselves, to get themselves out of the victim mindset and work hard for themselves. They don't need a handout. They don't need help. My people, we don't, not even we, because I'm doing for myself. The people that are playing the victim card, that are out here crying, oh, poor black person, we need reparations. They don't need help. Don't give them any handouts. They're just like a person begging on the street corner who you know is going to take that money and use it to snort up or sniff up or inject. They're not trying to better themselves. They're just trying to continually get handouts. So don't give them any help. Don't give them any money. Don't give them any, don't identify yourself with that group to be on the good team, to be on the winning team. Don't do that because it's not good. It's not good for you. It's not going to end well for you. Like, look how it's ending for Scott Adams. It's not ending well. He's finding out things the hard way. You don't want to do this. Okay. Pressing on.
It's no longer a rational impulse.
Agreed.
And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to Black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and I've been the only outcome.
That's freaking sad. He's wasted his life pandering to Black America and the side that particularly cries victim and woke nonsense and anti-white rhetoric, which is sad.
Because I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help Black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying. Now we should be friendly. Like I'm not saying start a war or do anything bad. Nothing like.
See, and this is the part that I feel like the Hodge twins, not the Hodge twins, but any person who reviews and they don't add this part, they're taking his words out of context. Like, I'm not here to glorify what he's saying. I'm not here to agree with everything that he's saying. I'm here to get to review it as unbiasedly as I can and to get as much information as I can to review it with as much clarity as I can and to review it as honestly as I can. So when he said that just now, that's true. That's what he's saying. He's not saying to be violent. He's not saying to start a war. He's saying still be friendly, but just don't help. That's, if you can take anything away from what this man is saying, take that. He's not saying to be threatening. He's not saying to do anything. He's just saying, just go. Just go, just leave. Don't help, but be friendly. When you do see a Black person, that's it. I agree with that sentiment. I agree with that message.
That. I'm just saying get away. Just get away. And here's my take on all of it.
Okay.
Everybody who focuses their priority on education does well.
I agree.
If anybody in the Black community focuses on education, they'll do well as well.
I agree. I don't agree on the types of education like universities. Like they've gone to hell in a handbasket. If you've been following, you've been following. But education in general, yeah. If you focus on education, educating yourself on what you need to do to better yourself, to rise out of your out of the wallows of I almost said the train wreck of your life too soon. Out of your despair and of your victimhood and of your what you say you are and educate yourself on what you can do to better yourself without needing handouts every other 5 seconds, then yes, I agree with that.
Because the system allows that. If they don't, I can't make that my problem anymore.
Agreed.
It just can't be my problem.
It should have never been his problem. He should have never felt the need to do that. It's unfortunate that he had to. It's unfortunate.
It can't be my problem if the solution is so clear, so available, and people don't want to take it. It's just not my problem anymore. So I resigned. I resigned from the hate group called Black Americans, according to the Rasmussen poll. 46% of them don't think white people are okay. Just being white. And there we go. You didn't expect that today, did you?
I certainly didn't, but I'm glad I watched the video.
But the most helpful thing I can do is to say I'm not going to help.
Agreed. I think that's great. I think everybody should take that thought process and run with it. Just stop trying to be so helpful. Just take care of yourself. It's not selfish. You take care of yourself and you'll be better for the world. You don't have to save everybody. You don't have to save everybody. Everybody is not worth saving. Some people need to get up off their ass and help themselves. Agreed.
Do you understand that? Continuing to help in that sort of, classic, oh, let me help you, give you, a lift up, give you a hand, mentor you, hire you, refer you. I'm going to stop all of that.
Truth. Give a man a fish and he eats for a day. Teach a man to, well, actually, you don't have to teach a man to fish. Teach a man to fish. A man needs to teach himself to fish and he can eat for a lifetime. So, yeah.
I'm done with all of that. Yeah, no, it didn't work. The only thing that will work is to say, you got to fix your own problem.
Agreed. If you take nothing else from this video, take that. You have to fix your own problem. Love it.
You know how to do it.
Yep.
Everybody else figured it out.
That's right.
I'm not going to speculate, why you're not doing it. I'm not going to speculate why there's a difference. I'm just going to say it's available to everybody.
That's right. See, this man is speaking some truth. You guys just aren't listening. You're not listening. You're not even trying to listen. This whole chat area is going nuts. They're like, racist. He's a racist. No, the man is speaking some intelligent stuff. He may be speaking in general terms and a lot, not all of it. I don't agree with everything that he said, but for the majority of what he said, the general idea that he's bringing to the table, I do agree with.
Just pick it up. It's free money. Focus on education and you could have a good life too. But those who don't want to focus on education, you just need to get away from them. Just get as much.
See, and he's being specific with certain things. Like if you want to focus on education, I'm not exactly sure what type he's talking about, whether it's the traditional going to school, because that might not work for everybody. But generally, I say if you're focusing on education of the self, if you're focusing on bettering of the self, then yes, I agree with that. And if the ones who don't want to focus on educating themselves, bettering themselves, then yes, avoid them. Yes, agreed.
Distance as you can.
Yeah, agreed.
That's my recommendation. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of Black Americans beating up non-Black citizens.
Yep, that's true. Asian people, I made a video on that too. There's a lot of Black on Asian hate going on since 2020. And probably even before that. I made a video on that. I'm going to link it in the box below. There's also a video that was put out by Charlie Cheon. I'm going to link that in the description along with my reaction to that. So link into those as well. Very informative, very informative. And will give you a better idea of what he's talking about, this guy, when he's talking about these people. The Black people that are not looking to better themselves. Okay.
I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture.
It's really not. It's anecdotal when it comes from a single person, but when you see the collection of people, actually the collection of video clips that people have posted on the net, where there are black on white crimes, black on other minority crimes that are just not being shown to the public as this is happening, this is a reality, this must be stopped. When you see that happening in the schools, happening outside on the streets, it is crazy how much this is happening. He's correct. It's happening on a daily basis. It needs to end. But this is all, as I said, part of a narrative, and the media does not want to show a black person doing these things. So they're going to keep it hush-hush. They're not going to tell anybody. They're going to push it down as far as possible and hope nobody sees it. If it's brought to the surface, they're not going to report on it. So it is not anecdotal. It's a reality of the current reality and times that we live in.
Of what's happening. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person. I'm kind of over it.
Good for you, sir. Good for you.
So I quit. And it feels good not to be in a racist hate group anymore. So I'm now independent, not a member of any group. I do not align with any group, not the white supremacists and not the black racists.
Good for you, sir.
All right.
So he's moving on. Okay, so I agree with his overall, what's the word? I agree with his overall take on what he was saying. You might not like my reaction and my review of it, and you might not agree with what I said. If you have anything to say, please put your comment in the comment section, and I will follow up with you, and we will have a wonderful discussion. And that is it. Thanks for watching.